Okay, we want to welcome everybody in. We've got another On the Line episode brought to us and you by our friends over at Factory 14. Harley, Holly, and Billy, and the whole gang over there do a great job. They've got everything you need from micros to midgets to sprint cars, and now they've even got wedge carts. So if you live close by, go by and take a look at it. Look at the showroom. Look at all the parts they got. Talk to them about racing in general. And if you're out of the state or not local, then check out the website, and they do a great job. So speaking of Factory 14, we've got a stud Factory 14 house driver and a Team Dirt Crowd driver on the line, Mr. Levi Ballard. Levi, how are you doing, bub?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I know last time we had you on and you were in your room, we commented on all the trophies and hardware, and guess what? After this last weekend, we got to find some more room for a little bit more, which obviously you're the new non-wing national champion. Did a great job, and super proud of you. It was a up and down weekend, so to speak, a little bit. Had to get through a little bit of adversity, but we'll get to that. But I think that's part of the deal, right? Being that non-wing champion and super cool. Obviously, that was brought to us and sponsored by Fuel Tech and FK Rod Ends, and we appreciate them doing that. And of course, Port City did a great job out there, Shane and Jen and the whole crew. So made for a great weekend of racing, which I know in the end was great for you. But let's start back on Friday. I know it started a little rough for you, but let's go over that heat race, kind of what was going through your mind. I know that weekend going in, right? You know, passing points are at a premium, and I think you had a pretty good starting spot back there at the back to kind of pick up some points, and maybe during that heat race we got a little aggressive, but walk us through that a little bit and tell us kind of how it played out for you.
Yeah, we started like midfield, and I was just trying to get up to the front, and I made a mistake, and I clipped the tire and got completely sideways and ended up getting last out of the cars that finished. So that sucked, and that put us in the B main. So
Yeah, and that happens, right? I mean, sometimes, like we just talked about, it's easy to think, man, I've got to go to the front, and I got to get there as quick as possible. And if you don't get the start that we want and kind of get held up behind some cars, then it's easy to start pressing and you know, kind of overdriving the car a little bit. And it happens, right? It happens to the best. I mean, Kyle Larson spins out twice last week, and he's the greatest driver on the planet. So it happens. We know it happens. You know, you kind of roll back in and kind of got your tail between your legs and a little bit down and a little bit upset. But again, having the season that you are, you know you've got speed. You know you can do it. So, you know, the focus is, okay, let's see where that puts us in the B. And we know we've got to get to, I think it was the top 3 in the B that night on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, you had some work to do in the B, and it's time to just kind of refocus, kind of put the heat race behind us and get elbows up and get on the wheel. And you're able to do that and ran a great race in the B feature, which put you in a spot. And again, I'm not. There's times I really think running the B helps out, right? I mean, you're on the track, you get more laps, you kind of get you back in the rhythm, and that's exactly what happened for you. Unfortunately, we look on my race pass and start in the A, and we got to kind of go down the list, and there's row 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, and that's where we find you, Levi Ballard, starting 19th. And again, rolling out, you know, you got to think, okay, well, top 4 lock in. I know a win's probably out of the realm of being realistic. Even 4 is, man, I'm going to have to make a massive drive. And next thing you know, we look up at the end of the Friday night feature, and you've passed 16 cars and end up 3rd and locked in. And so now we've forgotten about the heat. All that's kind of water under the bridge, and we're looking good. We're locked in. Walk us through that A feature. You know, you rolling, going up the ramp and then rolling out on the track. What are you kind of thinking there at 19th? I mean, are you, yeah, I mean, you know you got to get to 4th, but what's going through your mind and through the helmet right there before the start of that A feature?
yeah, I was kind of sad. I had to, or I was mad I had to start that far back, but I might as well just try and pass as many cars as possible. And there was a huge wreck on the start, and I was able to get a lot of spots, and we just went from there and tried to get as many spots as we could.
Well, and that's all you can do, right? In that situation is just kind of get your elbows up, get your head down, and concentrate and get up in the seat and get on the wheel and kind of see what happens. And yeah, there were some cars that kind of got collected there, and that let us start up a little bit farther. But you still had to pass a ton of cars to get to where you were. What are you thinking there? So when you finally get to fourth, do you realize that you're in fourth and kind of know that you're locked in? And did you get a little bit conservative, or are you like, I need to go get every position I can and to start as far forward as I could for the feature on Saturday?
I was just trying to get as many spots as I could, even if I was already locked in. I was just trying to get as many as I could to start as far up as I could, and Saturday's feature. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, you had to be really pleased coming out, like I said, at the end of the night on Friday, knowing maybe had to work a little bit harder than we wanted to or we thought we were at the beginning of the night. But we achieved the main goal, which is the lock-in. So you get to start third, and we had a chance to visit with you there at Port City, there in Bob's Turn 5, and I think you were in a good headspace there. You know, that what happened early on Friday was kind of behind us and locked in, and now it's just time to focus on going and getting another victory. And in talking to you on Saturday during the day before the races started, I thought yeah, he was pretty confident, and I knew you were probably going to run a good race. And so you get to go out there and hot lap with the 4 cars that lock in. How did the car feel there, and what's your mindset? Are you trying to move around a little bit to kind of see what you got under you to get back and kind of relay that information to Billy and DJ and everybody, or kind of, you know, what's your mindset there when you roll out for hot laps?
Yeah, I was just trying to see how the track was and just running the bottom to see where we were at in times. And we were third out of the 4, so which wasn't what we wanted, but we were right there with second and first, so we were still fast.
Right. So basically, you just need to find a little bit, right? You know, and at Port, and that being said, almost everywhere we race now, but at Port, it's just ultra competitive. So a 10th here or a 10th there can make a big difference. So, you know, that's good. I like the fact that you explain that to these younger drivers that are kind of listening and watching, and some parents out there, you know, knowing that, hey, we're going to go out here and run, and then we go back and look at the times and kind of think, okay, well, maybe we're a little bit off here, or what do we need to do to the car to prepare for the feature on Saturday. Looking back now, do you think overall the track was pretty similar during the feature as it was when you went out for that hot lap session?
Yeah, I was around the same. It was just super grippy, and it was really rough in 3 and 4. And I
Yeah.
biked it a couple times in the feature, but
I noticed that. We were setting up top there, and I noticed even it looked like the not only the left front but the left rear got up in the air there a little bit. But you did a great job and held on. I think you got to the lead fairly early there, and man, it just looked like you were running a really good line, real good on entry, real good on exit. Car had a lot of speed and kind of went on and did your own thing. I know there was a little bit there where Chase might have showed you a nose there in 3 once or twice, but looked like you got paced out there and came home with the victory. And congratulations on that again for being the non-wing champion. And that's got to be super cool. How do you like driving the non-wing car versus the wing car? I mean, I know you guys don't get to get that many chances to do it running the restrictors, but you know, going into that weekend, are you super excited? Do you like when you guys get to take the top off, so to speak, and go out there and run and kind of hang it out a bit?
yeah, coming forward to the weekend, I was excited to take the wing off because I haven't ran non-wing since February. So, and I like
Okay.
non-wing more because it's more on top sometimes,
Right.
but it's just fun because it's more loose and you got to drive it different.
Yeah, and it's something different, right? I mean, when you're used to running the wing car all the time, it's probably nice every now and then to take the wings off and see what we got. But obviously did a great job, and congratulations again on getting that victory over there at Port City. Let's transfer on into this week coming up. I know we've got Sooner Speed Week, and obviously that's a now 600 Series races. We start tomorrow night over at Creek County in Sapulpa. And I know you've been there before and had success there before. What's your mindset going in there? I know you're leading the points and leading at a pretty good clip, but you got 4 races in a row here, and you know I know you got experience on all those tracks and like all of them. But kind of what are you thinking when you roll into the pits tomorrow at Creek County?
Yeah, I'm excited to run there again. I haven't been there in a little bit, and it's a very fun track, and it's really fun. And I'm excited to get back there for another night.
Yeah, I think the 3 different tracks we have for the 4 nights is kind of like a nice little mix, right? I mean, Creek County's kind of a little bit longer straightaways and maybe not as much banking, and then we roll over to I-44 for Thursday and Friday, and Terry's got that track with a lot of speed in it, a lot of momentum around that track, and then we go back to I think you might say it was your favorite of the 3 is Port City back on Saturday night, and you've had a lot of success of all of them, but I like that it's a little bit variation, right? I mean, they're all a little bit different, and they've all got their own characteristics. And you're learning that over in time in the car, right? I mean, there's certain ways you got to drive the car at Creek versus different at Port or I-44, and I think that's what makes you a more well-rounded driver, is learning to adapt to all those tracks. You know, if you, I think that's what is so important about running a series or traveling a little bit is, you know, you're not at a weekly show every week and it's the same setup, and you know, you're just moving off a little bit here and there, but the fact that you got to drive the car differently, you've got different footwork, you know, you've got to find different lines, and the surfaces are different. That's got to be fun as a driver, knowing that here you get to race 4 nights in a row and kind of get to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to race at I-44 in Port City again, even though I was just at Port City, but
yeah,
it's a very fun track, so I'm just excited to get back to racing again.
Well, yeah, I bet you are, and I know you only had a couple of days off, but get ready. It's super hot here, so make sure you stay hydrated, and we'll definitely see you tomorrow night at Creek County. If you would go ahead and take a chance and or go ahead and take this time and mention all your sponsors that help out Levi Ballard Racing.
My mom, my dad, Factory 14, Chad Boat, Ballard Products, K1 Race Gear, and Kaiser Racing Wheels.
All right. We appreciate it, Levi. We appreciate you coming on. We're super proud of you. Appreciate you being on the Dirt Crowd platform. You're a great representative, and I know you are for all those brands and everybody that's helping out Levi Ballard Racing. So safe travels getting here. We'll see you tomorrow, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, that's Team Dirt Crowd driver Levi Ballard running for Factory 14 and currently leading the non-wing points and rolling into Center Speed Week with a lot of confidence. So if you get a chance, get out there and watch Levi and everybody else compete this tomorrow night at Creek. And then I'm going to travel down I-44 to the Turnpike over there and run that I-44 Speedway and then come back to Port on Saturday night. So thanks again, Levi, and we'll talk to you soon. Everybody else, appreciate you taking the time, and we'll be back with you here shortly.
Racers don't slow down, and neither do we. At Factory 14, quality products, proven performance, and unmatched service come together under one roof. Our showroom is packed with everything for junior sprints to sprint cars, all ready for race day. Our race team and development program are shaping the future of this sport. And with professional trackside support across the country, you're never alone, you're part of our team. One team, one standard, always accessible. Factory 14, excellence in every detail.